been the media story.
Taking the media by storm.
And, rightfully so. She's an excellent, talented player. Definitely got some learning curve to go as far as keeping that ball on a string and not turning it over so much. But clearly she's been the forefront of a lot of issues. And now the most recent one is that she has been taken off the USA national team.
She wasn't picked.
She was not picked. Unfortunately, better luck next year, Happy Gilmore. So, I got an interesting perspective that was given to me earlier today.
Okay.
So, my stepdad said his thoughts on the Caitlin Clark thing is very similar to the 1992 games in Barcelona. The original U.S. men's basketball dream team included a collegiate player, none other than Christian Laettner. He graduated in the summer of 92, so never played a second in the NBA. It's a little different. Clayton has obviously played in the WNBA. But he was one of the greatest collegiate players ever and very popular amongst the public and the media. And they put him on the Olympic roster, literally full of legends. And, Caitlin Clark, he thinks is a lot like Laettner. The problem is that WNBA players are being selfish and immature, and she was snubbed by pure politics, while the U.S. community chose to stroke the catty female egos of the U.S. women's team. So, I'm going to unpack this here. Obviously, there's WNBA players that have their own personal feelings. I feel like it's more of the rookies class than it is some of the older teams in the NBA, but there is some pettiness going on. Do you feel, and this is how I'm going to break this down, and we're breaking it down like this. Yes, she feels snubbed, so we're clear on that. Do you feel that she should be on the team? And secondly, do you feel that the U.S. women's national team not putting on there is very politics-based because they don't want the drama and the media circus that follows it?
There's a lot to unpack in my answer. Is should she be on the team? I would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of reasons why. Obviously, she's extremely talented, and maybe she's not having her best season because it's her first season as a pro, so there's a lot to learn. But the other thing is, you want people to watch your sport.
Thank you. Yes.
You want people to watch the damn sport, and you're gonna she's not ready. So you're gonna sideline whatever this person because she's not ready, but you don't even get eyeballs on the game. It makes no sense.
We said this last week, and I'm so glad you brought this up. I don't understand. LeBron James, right, and I said this last week, was beaten by Steph Curry, who I would say took his throne as far as accolades go for championships. Steph Curry took that away from him. Did LeBron pout about it? No. He simply says on record multiple times, I love Steph Curry. Yes, we're competitive on the court. Yes, I want to beat him. But at the end of the day, he's helping growing the sport in a way that, as LeBron would say, I could never do, right? Caitlin Clark is growing the sport in a way that some of these other players can't do. I don't understand why you are not wanting to fight with that instead of fight against that.
Dude, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, how many WNBA players could you have named?
Exactly. 3, 4.
And now you're starting. I know I'm starting to keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
And is it partly because of Caitlin Clark? Yeah, there's a percentage. I said this last week. Is it partly because of the Las Vegas Aces? I'm not really a fan of the Aces. I'm a Raider fan. I watch a lot of Raider stuff, and I see that there's a lot of like cross-pollination in the media of Las Vegas Raiders, Las Vegas Aces, and the Las Vegas Aces, back-to-back champions, owned by Mark. Mark Davis owns the team. So I hear a lot about the Aces, and that team is loaded.
Yep.
That team is stacked right now. So you're getting more exposure. You're getting more eyes on the game. And yeah, is there a huge amount of people that are watching the game because of Caitlin Clark? Sure. Those people, male or female, young or old, there's going to be a percentage of people that are going to learn about a different player, and they're going to be gravitating toward that individual players because of the game, right? Because how they play the game. Growing up when we were kids and we're playing sports, there was always the players. Of course, everybody loved Michael Jordan because he was the best, right?
Yeah, Kobe
But there's
Bryant.
always there's always those players that you have a personal attachment to because they do things that you can do or you aspire to do, right? Like so I wasn't when I played basketball, I wasn't particularly fast. I wasn't big. Like I'm not extremely athletic. I could shoot and I had a coach that would tell me, "Well, play really hard defense. Be committed on defense." So I'm not saying I was a good defender, but I was a mean defender. I would do things to irritate you, to bump you, to do anything necessary to make it difficult for you to score points. And I could shoot. And that was kind of it,
Yeah,
and there was times I got to, so as I was watching the game, I started to look at other players like that. I started to watch players that played defense, that rebounded, that did the little things, that did the dirty work on the court because that's what I had to offer, and I didn't offer a whole lot. That's why I'm on a podcast.
yeah,
you know, so over and this hate seems like there is a legit media hatred for Caitlin Clark. And to when LeBron came out and was an 18-year-old out of high school going into the NBA, he was on every highlight reel. ESPN was showing his high school basketball games,
yep,
but nobody bitched about that. Nobody complained about that. They said, "Oh, he's growing the game. He's reaching a younger person." And let's say if Caitlin Clark is bringing in a percentage of white people, what's wrong with that? White people's money isn't good.
yeah.
There's no
I
other WNBA white players that are good.
well,
Like,
okay.
this whole what's her name that was saying, "Oh, I want people to know that I'm growing the game because of me too. Me too, me too, me too." You're not the number one pick. You're not the number one overall pick. That's the difference. I'm sure you're really good. I'm sure you're going to have a really great career. Maybe you're going to win some championships. Maybe when it's all said and done, you're going to have a better career. You ain't the number one overall pick. That's the difference. And that's just how it is. You know, Ryan Leaf, remember Ryan Leaf? All this media attention. Why?
Yeah,
Number one overall pick. Jamarcus Russell, remember how bad he was? Number one pick. Like, them's the breaks. So I don't know what to
yeah.
say. Like, I don't know what to like. The league is growing. You're adding teams. It's not necessarily because of Caitlin Clark, but it's bringing more and more people to the game and they want to watch the game. And because of this childish junior high behavior of how you're speaking to the media, how you're offended by any Caitlin Clark question or thing that happens on the court or whatever, you react this way, you use profanity, you get upset, makes people not want to watch the game. Like,
I
so
agree.
you want to get paid and have the jet and have the cars and have the all this and have your money match the NBA, then put a good product on the floor. Enough of this nonsense and just have a good game, have a good product, be an
So like,
adult.
Steph Curry comes into town. I think he's a prime example for this. It
Mhm.
don't matter where they're playing, who they're playing. There is a plethora of Steph Curry jerseys because people want to see Steph Curry. He does magical things on the court that people feel like they could do because he looks very similar to them, and
Even
he
though
can
he's
shoot the
six
ball.
three, like,
Yeah, even though he's
he's a
6'3",
little
right?
guy.
He's a small guy amongst giants, right? So, but he could shoot the ball at an amazing clip, and Caitlin Clark is doing the exact same thing. She is quite literally bringing butts into the seat to see her because she does things that makes people feel like I could do that too. Why not strike the iron where it's hot and just go all in on this? And WNBA is literally shooting themselves in the foot by not policing themselves and being like, hey guys, chill out. Like, tell refs, you get a double technical for that foul. Like, that was ridiculous. You didn't need a body bumper. Like, you didn't need to do all that. Tell Reese, pipe down. You know, you want
Well,
money,
yeah,
you want your paycheck.
the argument that it's a physical game. Yeah, it is. It is, but you know, that hit, the one that kind of exploded everything, that hit was nonsense. I
Yeah.
mean, that was a ugly foul. Um, I hope the next time something like that happens is one, there needs to be a teammate that is backing her up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I don't understand. It seems like there's this negativity that follows her from college to now, where in interviews her teammates say she's great, she's awesome. So I don't know. I've seen post game interviews with her in college and in now. I I haven't seen anything myself. If viewers out there have seen something, please link it to us. But I have not seen anything of Caitlin Clark where she was acting like an asshole or said something
Yeah.
like an asshole.
I
Like
think she
I
talks a
haven't
lot of
seen that.
I think she talks a lot of smack on the court, but who doesn't? You
Well, if I
know?
was the number one overall pick, I would too. If I was that
Yeah,
talented at something, I probably would too. So who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
exactly. You know? So it's ridiculous, man. In my opinion, you have a cash cow on your hands and you guys just don't want to do anything with it. You'd rather it go down in flames, which is ridiculous, too. So.